What's up with you? I hope you have been keeping well. You are tuned into the Epic Personal Trainer podcast, the show that helps new personal trainers plan, build, and grow an epic personal training business. I'm your host, Mark, bringing to you today session number 15 about email marketing and email lists and the 5 things you need to know so you can start getting involved. All right, so number one, let's start off with the absolute basics. What is an email list and what is email marketing? Email marketing is basically a type of digital marketing, and it's also a type of direct marketing, which is basically selling, in this case, over email. So this is done to a list of email addresses that you have collected over time, and these are addresses from people that you know are interested in what you have to offer. So it's a massive asset to any kind of business to have this audience that you've created that you can build a relationship with. And you can do this repeatedly for very little cost until somebody unsubscribes or you remove them. And it lets you not only build a relationship with them, but it also lets you keep in constant communication about things that are useful to them, like tips and newsletters, new products you might be launching or offers or sales or anything like that. Entrepreneurs that have built a great email list can make a lot of money with every single email that they send out for any kind of product or service that they might be promoting. And it does take time. You don't start off like that. But that is the ultimate goal. So moving on to the number 2 thing that you should know. How do you collect these emails? Well, you collect them by offering something of value. Normally it's for free, but not always. And you offer it them in exchange for their email address. So this offering, if you like, is called a lead magnet. And it's something, that attracts leads. Now, I'm sure you have signed up for plenty of these yourself, even recently. I even have a separate email address just for signing up for people's email lists and getting my hands on their lead magnet and, seeing how their marketing and their sales funnels work. Lead magnets can be pretty simple. There's things like a checklist that someone can download as a PDF or a worksheet. It can be an ebook or a webinar. More complex types of lead magnets can be quizzes or a challenge of some kind, maybe a 7-day challenge. There's accelerators or short free online courses or even video courses delivered through email. I know Precision Nutrition did that a couple of years ago. So for some of these ideas, it is just a good idea, some time and a bit of effort to create it. But others need a lot more money and planning as well. But the one thing that they all have in common is that they're really relevant and valuable to your ideal client in a way that helps them with something specific and ideally will give them a quick win. Now, I know most of what I have mentioned so far is based online. So what if you're based in a gym and not online? What if you're an in-person PT? Well, you can still do a lot of these things online. Like they can help any kind of trainer, and some might even translate to working on the gym floor. Like ebooks and webinars can be shared and promoted to the gym members where you're working if you're allowed to do that. Check with your gym. But good examples of in-person lead magnets can be things we already use, like trial sessions. It can be a prize draw, or it can be something like a recipe collection or even a nutritional consult that people can give their email address in exchange for this free service. So why is all this important? Which is the number 3 thing that you need to know. So there are a few reasons why an email list is important to any business. Like when I mentioned earlier that you have direct access to your audience, the audience that you have built and now own, you're not under the control of any kind of algorithm. So, like if you take Facebook, for example, even if you have a large following on Facebook or even Instagram or any other social media platform, not all of your followers are going to be shown each piece of content that you create and publish. Facebook especially has been reducing the number of followers or the fans that see your content, even if they've liked your page or are a member of your group. So that's why for a few years now, you get the boost option on a post so that more people can see it, but only for a price. So if you take a look at some of the research, you'll find that email is still the number 1 platform that most entrepreneurs, especially online, have the best return on investment. And these are, entrepreneurs that have multi-million dollar businesses. They still find that their email list is the most effective thing. And that email list is something that you personally own. Yes, it's sitting on someone else's platform, but each of those platforms will allow you to download and export your list. So you can move it wherever you want. You can download it. You can keep it as a snapshot of your list from a certain point in time as a hard copy if you really wanted to. Social media, and I've mentioned this before in previous sessions, can be a little dangerous. Every single day accounts are getting shut down or removed altogether. And if your entire business is built on a social media platform like this, and this is the only thing you have, then your business can be gone instantly should the worst happen. I know it might sound extreme, but it is happening every single day. And a lot of the time, the account holder has no idea why, and have very few options for getting things back up and running again. So an email list is not just your best form of marketing, it's also your safety net. So regardless of what happens on other platforms, your list will always be your list, and it will always be there no matter what. Now, the number 4 thing you need to know is that email marketing is typically made up of 2 types of emails. You have your automations and your campaigns. Now, I'm not a big expert in email marketing, but I have been at it a few years on and off, and I'm going to give you my version of the difference between these two. So campaigns are like your single send email. They might be like your daily emails or a particular sales email, or, your weekly newsletter if you do one of those. Now, automations are kind of pre-planned sequences of emails that are triggered when a person is added to your list. They can include steps that depend on the actions that the subscriber takes. And you can use things like tags to segment your list into categories, and there's a whole lot more that they can do as well. But automations rely on the technology to help automate the process. So it happens automatically without you needing to do much once the initial setup is done. And that can take a bit of time. It's the old kind of set it and forget it, but only up to a point. So automations can be used for things like sales funnels. Keeping an ear out for a future session on those, by the way. They can be used for onboarding new members, or creating guides on how to use a product after somebody buys it. To give you an example, at Invictus, which is the gym, we have automations for every new inquiry that comes. Each time we have a new member join, there's one to onboard every new personal training client, and we have one for each trainer that works at the gym. So it gives a really personalized approach for each new client that is relevant to the trainer they're working with. Now, for Epic Personal Trainer, I've got automations set up for every free resource that you can download on the website. There's an automation for each one of those. I have one to onboard new members into the Epic Pro community, and also for when people sign up for the waitlist to join the community. So we use them to give a nice welcome to people, let them know about important information. But most important of all, we use them to help set the scene and to try and get their mindset right, and to help to reduce buyer's remorse. So whatever it is, the start is always going to be the most important. And you can hear me talk about that and buyer's remorse on the previous session, which is session number 14. So go and check that out. So lastly, number 5 of what you need to know is that most email marketing platforms will have all the features you need to send campaigns and basic automations, but not all of them will have them on a free plan. And a free plan is a great place and where you should start in the beginning, because, you're just learning all of this and learning how to do it. Even I'm still discovering good practices and stuff like that. But also, you're just starting to grow your audience. It's going to be a small list. My own list is still pretty small, and I use the free plan with a company called MailerLite, and I really enjoy using it and sending emails when I remember to. So some of the best platforms I've used over the last few years with Epic Personal Trainer or Invictus include MailChimp, which is kind of like the biggest one and most well-known that there is. But I've also used ConvertKit, which was really good, ActiveCampaign, and the one I currently use, which is called MailerLite. So at the moment, we use MailerLite for both Epic Personal Trainer and Invictus. It has a really good free plan, which I use for Epic Personal Trainer, and the really cost-effective plan actually which we use for Invictus, which has a bigger list. So I'll put a link to some of these platforms in the show notes at www.epicpersonaltrainer.com/session/session 015. And I'm not an affiliate for MailerLite. I mean, not yet anyway. So I'm just talking from my own experience and what I like to use. Feel free to take a look around, do some research. There are a ton of great platforms that you can use for your email marketing. So have a look, choose the one that best fits your needs and also your pocket. All right, so that's the 5 things done, and that is pretty much everything from me again today. But if you could be so kind, please go ahead and leave a review on your favorite podcast listening app. It'll help get some algorithm love so that more and more people can discover the show. And if you like this session, take a screenshot and share it on social media. And don't forget to tag me. I'm on Instagram. My handle is my name at marc.devany. So that's marc.devany. So I can reshare that too. It'll be great to see if it's helping out. Now, if this or any other session might help a friend, a teammate, a batchmate, or a colleague, please share it with them so that we can help as many trainers as possible to start being successful. So take it easy, and I'll see you in the next session.